But for SS2-1, right, this is 155 through 173. Their KVK, for the most part, is pretty much over. This has already pretty much been decided. It's UWU and BNR where the initial alliance is going into Zone 4. There's a few others that have made it in here. CM69 you can see, but for the most part, there's no PvP. They're done. They're really just waiting right now for the next matchup to occur, which has not been provided. There's no end-of-season timeline that's been indicated yet for SS2-1, which makes sense, because for those of you who may not remember, SS2-1 was the first KVK group to go into the new Season 2 Plus map. Let's go to SS-2. So for SS-2, there's just some light PvP. The season is pretty much over for the most part. This was the SK1 VVV EIS OG matchup, and now at the moment there's some light PvP around some of the level 5 passes. And SK1 is fighting on the, I think it was the Icebite Bridge River. That is, oh gosh, I need to remember where the Icebite Bridge River is over here. Yeah. And so this was like a similar GG83 TA matchup here on this bridge choke point, but it's really just kind of light skirmishing. For the most part, it is over. OGAS fake. They're kind of holding on to Zone 4 at the moment. And I imagine it's just going to be really more of a waiting period at this time until end of season timeline arrives. Then we get to basically like the mega KVK, which is SS2-3. And here in this one, this is where we have TFS, FS going up against, and I should say TFS, FS, TNS, TDR, they're going up against Nawar, PSC, Duston, MTK, and EP77, so it's a 5v6. Really, for the most part, there is still fighting that's going on. We were just showing that a little bit earlier, that you could see here. At this point, there, again, this is like the last, this is arguably probably the next biggest last stand, if not arguably the last stand for Nawar and PSC in Final Zone. You can see here with TFS, they got 39 minutes on that build. They have, FS is now building theirs. I think they just got to destroy PSC's turret. But that's pretty much it. Everyone else has been pushed out. There is TDR is pushing out EP77 in MTK over on this side. You can see FS has already claimed Dust's level 5 pass. And then TFS has captured this pass as well. I think this was Dawn's. And then this is really the last one here for PSC as far as them being in final. I mean, again, it's trending in that direction. So, I mean, you could argue maybe a day or two more at the most. Maybe they get it done here in the next 24 hours or 12 hours. I guess it just depends on how active they're going to be and how much, what's the word I'm looking for? Not rebuttal. How much resistance, probably a better word, that Nawar and PSC are going to give up until that point. And then obviously I'm sure there will still be some tricklings here and there for fighting, but I mean, for the most part, it's kind of on its way down, right to slow. If we take a look at SS2-4, this group, again, pretty much over at this point. This is where we had 42 TC. They were going up against ROTA and MSFT and Fang that were in more Brez, 42 TC being in Doolin. And then you could see here that they're getting pushed a bit more. So you have Rota right here. We have VV89, and then I think here is GG89. But like apparently they're pushing them. I guess they're just going deep into the level, into the Zone 3 for Doolin, because they started on this side, or I should say on the more Brez side for where Rota, MSFT, and Fang were. And so now you have them basically coming into the Doolin Zone 3, trying just to take as much territory as they can. You can see Fang's pushing KM. This, I think we were watching this a little bit earlier, right? Where you see them pushing. And there's some fighting and some resistance that's happening. And then someone ended up removing, so KM ended up either removing or got some territory disconnected. But no action that's going on there. You can just see a lot of the towers there that are now inactive. Then we end up moving over to SS2-5. Now, this is the TA, TM, GG group that we have, along with KPT, 066, and ORD. That's here. And then it was on the more Brez side. On the Doolin side, it is TA, TM, EXG, EXXL, Sky, UDF. More Brez was GG8313 and 066. And now you can see here that GG89 still has, and this is very similar, right, to what we were showing before with how, where was that one that we were looking at with No, it wasn't EA, so GVV. Maybe it was 42 TC. Oh gosh, I'm totally forgetting the alliance now. But very similar that we were seeing where we were talking about the Ice Bite River. And I'm sure I'll find my note here. Yeah, that was with SK1 fighting at the Ice Bite River that we mentioned. But that's the similar thing happening here with GG83. They're kind of holding off against TA right at this point. So there hasn't really been a lot of movement there on that bridge choke. Then we get over, however, they are pushing on this side, where you can see EXG and TA, right? So they're pushing over here, building some flags westward where they're going to start applying on 066. And I think that's GG83 there in purple it is. And then action going on here in zone 3 from the south, where they're, again, kind of at this like back and forth tug of war. There hasn't been an extreme lot of movement. There's been moments where TM and oh gosh, who's the other one? UDF, thank you. Where they've been pushing up the ramp here at this Brez Plateau. And then there's been moments where GG83 and 13 have pushed down south. So it's kind of at a stalemate at this point. But again, it seems like they'll probably hold on to that. Will they be able to hold it till the end of the season? If they're getting pushed from the south and they end up getting sandwiched, we'll see. But for the most part, right, it's trending in the direction where the TA group has pretty much won over Final Zone, over the GG group and allies. Then we get over to SS2-6. And in SS2-6, this is where we have... Oops, is it going to take me in? Fantastic. This is where we have TPD, Dora, FTW2, RR, and they were going up against S50, ROE, NTS, ROA, and ROZ. And this was one of the fastest KVKs that we saw play out with how quickly the Union side for Doolin, which was the TPD, Dora, FTW, RR group, just really got pushed a lot faster than I think most people thought when it came to getting kind of ran out of town for Final Zone. And now it's more of them just kind of being on the defensive. So if I can not click on a mountain, you'll see ROE there, RR, TPD, and then Dora going on that side. But everyone's pretty much pushed back at that point, right? You can see some building over here on this side. If we scroll over, right, they're kind of flagging, and then at the same thing, turtling with turrets. And then if we go over here, right, same thing where they're just trying to build out a little bit more. But, I mean, really it's again, a lot of pushing. And you can even see here on the ROE side where they're building down the ramp here and what they have 45 minutes left on the turret, right? But they're already kind of within range of TPD, and I'm sure just trying to get close to this one to eventually disconnect from Hydra and then I'm sure potentially take it as well. But this season is pretty much already over for SS2-6. Let's go to SS2-7. We'll take a look there. What's up, man? There we go. Back up to 30 plus. That's what we like to see, fam. 13 likes, 2 away from 15. We can do it. Okay. Then we're in SS2-7. So SS2-7 is... this was the NKBXS RTG Owl group, right? So in Doolin, we had basically a 1v3 situation that was happening. For those of you that remember, NK was fighting here along this western side, going up to the level 5 pass. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm not far enough west here. Where's the spire? Here we go. So they were fighting, basically going up. Yeah. What? Yes, you can have a little bit. My little one's getting in trouble. Yeah, my middle child has been, I don't know if anyone has kids here, but we're like, they'll basically ask you both the same question, right? Like they'll ask someone, hey, can I have ice cream? And if they don't get an immediate answer, or if it's no, they'll go ask the other parent. That's basically what just happened. She's been on this dive. Point is that NK at one point was kind of hanging out along this route, and they were blocking off this choke here at the spire. And essentially what it came down to was that BXS, Owl, and I think RTG, were all trying to push through this area, and they were just able to hold on for so long. And again, obviously it's been broken now, but they were able to hold on for a while. And so now they've just been pushed out pretty far. I know. So you're going to have to wait. You have to wait. You want to come sit?
No, I can't do it. I have to wait.
I know. You're going to have to wait. Okay. Here, why don't we sit down? Let's go. Okay. As you guys can see, this is my +1 diva. Okay. But that basically sums up SS2-7, where you ended up seeing BXS, RTG, Owl being able to push out NK and W. And so that is pretty much how this final zone is playing out. Now those three alliances are pushing out and is trying to do a lot more damage. You can already see here, again, with them kind of going over this way. Let me see, who do we have here? So Owl's already kind of pushed down through that level 5 pass. I think they've already taken, so BXS has taken one up here and then one up here, and you can already see them going over here to Feet. I think there was a little bit of PvP that's happening here between Feet and, or I guess it was. So I want to point this out, which was funny for anyone here who's in SS2-7. Those of you that remember, Feet had the entire, and you could still see this, right? They have the entire Morbrez section. However, they were supposed to be allied with BXS, RTG, and Owl, the group that won Final Zone. And so I don't know if they've cut ties or what exactly happened, but Feet was fighting against Owl here a little bit earlier. And and again, my initial thought comes, well, why didn't Feet ally, with NK in them, and maybe there could have been some assistance that was given. Now, I'm sure there's a whole story there, but this is just my devil's advocate side playing, is that, why wasn't there something there where that could have helped them get to the final zone, right? Because they weren't able to, I don't even think they were able to capture a level 5 pass to get to the final zone, but my thought is like, well, hey, if maybe there was like an earlier opportunity to union sooner, maybe there could have been some assistance there that would have allowed for them to go in and then assist NK and W a little bit more. And again, I'm sure there's a story there. I'm sure we'll hear some comments, but again, that was just a little thought that ran into the brain there. Okay, let's get to SS2-8. So SS2-8, this was, once again, very similar to the TPD Dora FTW RR group, which was SS2-6, where BDO, this was BDO and PTW in Morbrez here, going in from the west side of Final Zone. Then from the south in Doolin, this was TO and FSK. Once again, for those of you who remember when we were streaming these daily, these ended pretty quick, right? It was BDO and PTW who just came out in overwhelming force, and they had so much activity online at the time that they were able to basically push TO and FSK back to their level 5 passes, not allowing for them to build a lot. And then FSK and TO had had a very small resurgence window where they were able to then push out of the gate, build a little bit, FSK more than TO, but didn't make it to, I think FSK made it about as far as almost, I think, right around the level 4 Spire for where I saw, because they were coming in from this gate and came that way. So they came in here, capped the gate, they build over here. And from what I remember, they made it to about here. TO, I think, ended up capping this gate, and they made it, I think, to about here from what I recall. I don't think it was beyond this choke point, though. And so it wasn't that much, right? It was very, but again, bear in mind the matchup difference is that BDO and PTW had about a 5.5 billion power differential on them as well, right? Okay, so then we go into SS2-9. Yeah, it was interesting stuff. Elisa, sorry guys, I know I need to catch up on chat too as well. I'm just gonna read this one. I love how Elisa says, I love how you just roll with the parenting and weave it into the streaming. Lol, hooray for modern dads. Thank you. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I absolutely love my girls. I got 3 girls, 8, 5, and 8, 5, and 1 going on 2. But yeah, I mean, at this point you got 3 kids. You got to kind of figure it out, and I would imagine develop a system that works well, not ignoring, showing that you're still paying attention and love them as best you can. And this isn't like a Calhoun and Felix from Wreck-It Ralph type of like, this is the secret to parenting with 14 motocross kids from Candy Crush, not Candy Crush. What's the Sugar Rush. Sorry, I had to think of the game. I had to think of the girl go-kart racing game in Wreck-It Ralph. Anyways, we're diverting. Let's focus. So now we're in SS2-9, and I know, thank you. And so here we ended up having FGHT and MILF and DILF. However, bear in mind, for those of you that remember as well, these 3 alliances were allied. So there really wasn't anything happening here, and there's still not really anything happening here with the exception of something going on here now. and maybe it's merit trading. Oh, no, it's Laws and MILF? Okay. Maybe they're just fighting for the heck of it? Or, oh, no, I'm sorry. That was happening in Zone 3. I forgot. It was in Morbrez. It was MILF Dilf going up against Laws, PGR, POTC, and ANGE. So it looks like they're just kind of, I guess, hunting out the remnants of that group. But yeah, this season's pretty much over. SS2-10. Let's keep it on truck. Oh, hang on. I'm in SS2-10. So, yes.
I'm about to get out at work.
Am I... Well, sweetie, I'm not really working. I'm kind of working.
Are you about to get out at work?
Am I about to get out? Maybe in a little bit.
Like,
Huh?
like this many?
Like that many minutes? Yeah, maybe just add a 0.
No, this.
Okay, yeah, plus 0.
No, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay, plus 0. How about 30?
No.
Okay, how about we go 3 for now, then we'll see what happens.
No.
Okay?
No.
Okay, I love you. Alrighty. This is SS2-10. And I don't think LNV is gonna bother too much, but I am gonna move off of the Alliance chat because otherwise Flix is gonna get mad at me again. So moving here, this season was pretty quick as well. There was some resistance that ended up happening in SS2-10. This is where the matchup was LNV, GD, FSKG. They came in from the Doolin side, which was down over here south, and they were going up against NXS, RXS, A Squiggly C or AC. And this was about a 1 billion power differential that was in favor of the LNV, GD, and FSKG side. Now, even though NXS, RX, or I should say RXS, and I think it was AC that made it in, because I don't know, I can't remember if RXS made it in as well. I know at least those first two did. It was pretty one-sided in the sense that it was a constant push against the group that was coming in from Morbrez, the Western Zone 3. And because of that, the PvP lasted less than 2 days. And again, that's kind of where it is now. Now you can kind of see like there's pushing that's happening, and I think we're attacking here on this side, and there's stuff going on. And, you know, again, I'm sure people are like, well, boss, why aren't you there? Well, it's because I'm doing this. No, but yeah, again, LNV, they were kind enough to host me this season. Most people know that I just kind of join a different alliance every season. That's kind of been my shtick, if you will. Thus far for each of the KVKs, and it's such a fantastic experience because I get to go into a lot of these different alliances, meet a lot of these leadership teams, and read the mails that they send and markers, and kind of see how they operate in war. It's really great for broadening your horizon if you want to learn more about the game and how different alliances manage themselves. So it's always a pleasure for me, and the people that allow for me to come in, and I always tell people up front too as well. Like even though I don't fight that much, and I always try to support as best I can with building and destroying, etc. They can kick me anytime they want. So everyone knows that essentially I'm dead weight, and I'm really just more there as like a cheerleader, and I'm pretty upfront about that. So let me move over to SS2. Again, you gotta be real with you. You have to know yourself, for kind of where you are at the moment. Let's go to SS2-11. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever had like these little Cayman Jack margarita things. My lady bought them. Never had one before. They're okay. Yeah, not a big drinker. But she's not going to drink them, and they need to get deliquified is the word I'm going to use today. SS2-11. Moving on. We have here, the battle here was going to be, now bear in mind, their Zone 4 opened 5 days ago. This is Noah Bab versus SVTP HP, and for the most part, it's pretty much over. Right, you have Noah here coming in from that side, and then Bab, I think, was... they didn't end up capping. Or maybe they did, no, because somebody would have re-owned it. So they might have been unioned, and maybe it was like a swap or something that occurred because I think I covered a fight that happened here once. But then obviously you have them already getting pushed back to the gate. And then I think right now it's just a matter of waiting to kind of, if they're able to cap. And you can see, I want to point out something here too as well. The symmetrical placement of these turrets is pretty sexy. I'm going to be honest. This is something that just makes your boy a little hot and heavy. I have to be honest. Like it looks pretty. You know what I mean? Like you have to appreciate the alignment of how good that looks, right? Is it just me? Anyways, yeah, this one's pretty much over. Now it's just a matter of pushing through here and going into more Brez. All right, let's go, and we'll touch on SS2-12. No? What are you doing over there? Yeah. Yeah. What's up? Oh, yo, guys, we're at mid-30s right now. That's what I'm talking about. So I just came back to look at chat for a sec. 4 more likes until 20. We can do it. Remember, that's the only thing we ask of you. That's your entry fee for the stream, is just hit us with a thumbs up. Okay. Let me get back, and I'm going to catch up on chat, I promise. And if there's anyone that asks me some questions, make sure you save them, because I'm going to answer those once we finish going through these S2 Plus kingdoms. We'll do the S2 kingdoms, and then we're going to go over the big announcement, right? So those of you that are tuning in, strap in for that, because there's that big potential announcement where they're adding in home kingdoms that may be happening, that we're going to talk about that and have a nice little back and forth powwow. So we're here in SS2-12. Zone 3 opened on the 10th of January. So that was 6 days ago. I only have one hand free. 5 plus 1. 6 days ago. Zone 4 opens in 3 more Augerstone chapters. At the moment, in SS2-12, we'll start with more Brez. This is where we have SVG, ROGR, ROG, SVG, and ROG is where Daka plays. For those of you that might be familiar with Daka or not, right? At one point, he broke the billion units killed threshold. At least it's supposed that he did. I should always say that because I don't have that on like 100% accuracy or a guarantee. But the supposed speculation is that he was the first person, if not, we'll say one of the first people to break the 1 billion units killed threshold. Whoa. Hang on. There we go. Let's relog in. Sorry, I think my little one here. Oh, here, wait, you want to watch? Uh-oh, what just happened?
I want to do it.
Hang on. I gotta move this back over. I think she logged in on my other one. There you go, just do that. Yeah. Okay, but... Alright. Let me make sure I have this aligned. This is what happens when you give your kids your phone. Yeah. Okay, right there. Doesn't need to be that louder. Is that good? Okay. Or here, do you want to use the headphones? Yeah? Let's do this while I load this back up. 1 sec. Okay, here, put these on. Go ahead, you can put those on. And that way you don't have to listen to it that low. Okay. Okay. All right. Where was I? SS2-12. Am I there? Awesome. Let's head back. Yeah, don't know if anyone has like these Shocks headphones. I think they're spelled SJOKZ or SH. What is it? How's it spelled? SHOKZ. Absolutely fantastic. Best pair of workout running headphones I've ever had. Yeah, I mean they're absolutely fantastic. They're like over the ear. They go around. Super lightweight. Great material. Oh, you can't hear anything? Hang on. Let's do this. You hear it now? Okay. She's like, yeah, I'm good. Okay. Let me make sure we're good here on positioning. Let's go here. Great. Okay. So, SS2-12. Like what I was saying, this is where we had Daka that was playing here. This, again, we already talked about more Brez. Doolin was SHP versus THL and MM. And however, the interesting thing here is when I went to go and look at Doolin for those alliances, there's not really any fighting that's happening, right? So you have SHAP, who's supposed to be going against THL and MM. However, there's not really... Oh, thanks. Thanks. That was the lady. They're bombarding me. Hi, sweetie. She's like, I really wanted to stay. Well, that's how it is. If they get an in, they're just here forever. Let's do this. Scoot that there. Okie dokie. So, but like I was saying, the interesting part is that they're not really doing any attacking at the moment. So, like I said, it was SHP, THL, and MM, and they're supposed to be here. So it was SHP, and remember, they're going against THL and MM. So it's MM there, and then I think THL's here. But if you go and you look, they're not hitting anyone, right, at this convergent point. So that was the matchup that I heard. Again, maybe it just wasn't right and it was wrong. And then we have more Brez, right, which we said was basically the IL ROG group. And I think there's a convergent point let's see here where I have it. So it's EXR, IL. I have to remember where this point is here. Oh, hang on. I think it's up here. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah. So it's right here on the ramp. So it's like you zoom in, it's like boom, and it hits you in the face with just awesomeness. And so this is it. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, respectfully, it's a little ridiculous with the amount of turrets, right? That's going on. It just goes on for days. But this is where the fighting's happening. So it's IL. It's IL squiggly IL. It's -EX, and then here it's SVG, ROG, ROGR, right? And there's probably some other alliances too, but like this is the big shabu-yabu that's happening here in SS2-12. Given that Zone 4 opens in 3 chapters, you're probably talking about 6 days, give or take, 6-7 days. We'll see. If there's no movement there, then they're all going to be going into Zone 5, and it's going to kind of turn into like this TM GG situation where they're going to probably be fighting on multiple fronts, right? So let's go to SS2-13 and take a look there. Yo, we're at 40 plus. That's what I'm talking about. That's the fam showing out love right now. We got 3 likes until 20. Remember, that's our only entry fee that we kindly ask of you. Just hit us with a thumbs up. Okay, now we're going in SS2-13. For SS2-13 here, and bear in mind, for some people that might be joining, I'm going to upload this as a separate video, but we're going through all the S2 plus KVKs because I did my update through each of them today and the S2 kingdoms. So we're just going through giving you an update on kind of where each one stands, and we're talking about when future zones are opening up, what those potential matchups are going to look like in case you're interested or looking forward to those. And I'll tell you right now, the SS2-12 group is exciting because there's a lot of PvP that's happening there. So if you're looking for something to watch, whether that's in Zone 3 for the fighting or when the potential Zone 4 opens, as long as multiple alliances can make it in from both sides, I think it's going to be a banger. Again, as long as everything kind of stays the way it is. Then we get to SS2-13. SS2-13 is, and I know I haven't even been talking about the kingdoms that are in there. I know you guys can kind of get the brief preview there. But this one, Zone 3 opened on the 10th, so again, 6 days ago. Zone 4 opens in 3 chapters. And in Duelin, there is some PvP that's happening here. It is supposed to be HY11 versus HY11, TK11, and they're supposed to be going up against EXP and Yoza. But something tells me that Yoza changed their name, and it's not Yoza anymore, and it could potentially be CDK, maybe, that's happening. But now what I'm realizing is that there really isn't a lot of PvP that's happening here, and so I don't know if HY and TK11 ended up allying with EXP and CDK, and now they're basically attacking Beck. They're attacking BEK. And you could see that here, where, again, they were pushing and attacking from here. They're not really building at the moment. And then, let me see here where the choke is. And they're not really building past this point either, but there was some PvP that was happening here on back, and you can see, like, again, there's some building here that's happened you can see on the defensive side. So, and I'm sure someone will let me know what's going on, but that was what was initially told to me in the beginning. And then we go over to more Brez, and this is supposed to be BTR TFO basically versus everyone, and I think PBM was included in that. So if we have TFO here in Perp, PBM's there, and I think red is BTR for Big E-Tron. I said that right. And again, but there's not really any pushing. I don't know if there's any continuous pushing that's happening here. You can see there's kind of like this stalemate of what's happening now. So I don't know if they just kind of basically just said, yeah, we're just going to ally with people in more Brez, and we'll just ally with the people in Duelin, then we're just going to jam it out once Final Zone opens in 3 more chapters. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Let's look at SS2-14. Here in 14, very similar to the others, Zone 3 opened on the 10th, so 6 days ago. We got 3 more chapters until Zone 4. The more Brez matchup is supposed to be ETS, ETD, ETSP versus DYB and ROEZ. So it's basically the ET family versus DYB and ROE. And let me find them real quick. So ROEZ here in purple, DYB here in orange, and they're basically, I think, defending this choke here on the River Star. At the moment, and you can see lots of turrets here on this side, turrets on this side, not really any fighting that's happening, and I think there is some, and then on this bridge up here, right, so you got the Spire bridge, and then you have the non-Spire bridge, right, or the Vanilla bridge, and they're pretty much turtled up at this point across, and that's really where like the main conversion is. But again, no one's really kind of given up any ground, at least thus far. We get over to Doolin. Doolin's IPTM Aqua versus OCOC and OCAG. Now, again, when I looked earlier, I didn't see a lot of action that was going on, but most of it is basically right around here, right? So it's right here southeast of Bladewater, west of Ironhammer Mountains, and it's at this level 3 spire. So this is kind of where the turtling point is. You can see OCAG, OCOC, IPTM, and Aqua. And that's pretty much where it's happening at the moment. And then I think also over here on the level 4 spire. That's going down, and then you could see Aqua's over there, and there's like a few others. So you kind of have like these 2 choke points that are basically going into this one level 5 pass that they both got in from. But again, right, we'll see how much that develops from there. Then we get to SS2-15. Now, SS2-15 is... And these ones will probably go a little faster because there's just not really a lot of action at the moment that's going on. Zone 3 is actually going to be opening, and I'm pretty excited for this. I don't know how much PvP there's going to be because I need to check to see if I got DMs some messages back. But Zone 3 opens on the 18th, January 18th at... what do I have here? At... I think it was 1... Oh, in the morning. I think it's at like 7 or something in the morning here on the 18th. I actually thought I had wrote down the number, but now I'm looking at it and I probably missed out on it. But I think it's around 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern time in the morning, which I believe is around 12 UTC on the 18th. So basically, we're already on the 17th right now, so it's going to be tomorrow at around 7. I think sometime around 7:30, 7:15, 7:30 UTC, give or take, for when Zone 3 opens. And I don't think the timer... Yeah. I don't think the timer started yet. And sorry, not tomorrow, but like the next day in the morning, I should say. And so, yeah. So we're pretty much about a day and a half away right now from that opening. But I'm expecting there to be some PvP. It just, again, I'm waiting to find out what those matchups are going to be. Then we end up getting to SS2-16. And SS2-16, I'm still waiting to like figure out, because the problem with SS2-16 is I couldn't see anything in Zone 1. Or I'm sorry, for that's actually for Season 2, I'm tripping. But I didn't see any PvP when I looked around in Zone 1. And so now we get to Zone 2, which is going to open in 2 chapters, right? So, again, we're going to wait for that to open here. And like I said, that's going to open in about 4 days, give or take, 4 or 5 days. And then we'll see what's going to happen there. I don't know if there's like really PvP that's happening here, or if like some of these markers are just, hey, oh, actually, no, you know what? There's probably something going on. I don't even know what they're doing over here. Let's see. IMD, IME. Okay. Maybe it's just like a parade to show force. And that's what's happening. And then we end up getting to SS2-17 and 18. Now, in SS2-17 and 18, this is the interesting thing, and I almost wonder if other people have wondered about this same thing that I have. Yes.
Are you almost done?
I'll tell you when. Thank you. And so the thing is that it doesn't allow for you to observe. And this is, I want to point out, a little bit unfortunate because I'm trying to time this out. And right now, I have it somewhere between it opens around the 4th or 5th Augerstone chapter is when the kingdoms will allow for you to view them. But that's about a week after the kingdom's been opened. And the challenge there is, well, what if there's PvP happening in Zone 1? You don't really get an opportunity to see that unless you make an account there and you want to defog everything, right, the old-fashioned way. So I don't know what the reasoning is here. I need to ask them about this because to me, my view is like there's no reason to have it like that. I don't really see what the benefit is. But again, maybe that's just me. If someone else has some thoughts, I'd love to hear. But yeah, that's pretty much where SS2-17 and 18 are. So they're both 5 chapters away from Zone 2 until we can potentially see some action. Then let's get over to let's get over to Season 2 now. And let me come and take a look real quick on chat.
What?
Oh, sorry, no, I was just patting your belly.
Hey.
Because I like to pat your belly. Nice, 21 likes. Doing pretty good. I'm just going to see here. Oh, here we go, my KVK. What's going on, guys? Ramudu Senpai, what's up? Deathmoth, what's up? Welcome. Stav, what's up? Welcome. Rambo Mooks, what's up? Julio, what's up? Welcome. Godorozo, what's up? Let's go. Welcome. Jonathan, what's up? Welcome. Okay. Let's go to Season 2 real quick, and then we'll jam out the rest. And I'll try and go through this a little faster, too, as well, if we can. So let's start with S2. Where am I at? 61 right now? So maybe we'll just look at these if there's not really a lot. So for these ones, there's a few of these I'm not really going to go into, and that's just because the season's pretty much already over. However, what I do want to point out is the interesting thing here about S261 is their new season starts on the 18th. So in about a day and a half, or a day you could argue, their new season is going to start bringing another group into S2+. Then we get to 62, and really all the way up until 67, the PvP is pretty much already done at that point, along with eventually 62 and others that are going to be starting their new seasons as well coming in. I'll have to double check on some of the later ones beyond 62 up until 67, but at least at the moment, those PvPs are pretty much over at this point. Then we end up getting to S268. Now we'll start from here. This is 241 through 244. Their Zone 4 opened on the 10th. And again, this was supposed to be IFAP, JP versus the NK family, which I think was NK0, NK9, and NK7. NK has pretty much taken this at this point. I think IFAP is over here in purple, but there's not really anything happening here. You can see that they're getting pushed at the moment with NK building their tower, and then they'll eventually go for the destruction kind of one by one.
Can Isabella come in?
No, not right now. But thank you. No, I know, thank you.
What she
Okay.
said.
Do you want to go out there with him? She's like, I just want to stay here. And then we end up getting to, I guess we'll get to S269, which is right here. Like I said, this one's going to go a lot faster. Their Zone 4 opens on the 17th. So, I'm sorry. You know, this was the one, actually, that was opening on the one that I was saying before. So maybe I ended up getting them mixed up, or maybe this is just the same one, or a similar time. But Zone 4 for this group, 245 through 248, their Zone 4 for Final Zone is going to open at 7:25 UTC or 2:25 a.m. Okay, this is a different one, actually, yeah. And you can see the countdown here, right? 6 hours and 17 minutes is Final Zone that's going to be opening up here. Now, I don't know what the matchups are on this one yet. I did ask. I haven't heard back yet, along with I just haven't checked again in the past couple hours to find out if someone did message me back. But if you're looking for some potential PvP to go and watch that could be happening, this is one to look out for. Then we get over to S270. Now, S270, Zone 4 for them for Final Zone is 3 chapters away. Zone 3 opened on the 11th, so 5 days ago. And the matchup here is OPZ versus EE in Cameled for Zone 3. And you have to remember, this is the Season 2 map, right? So it's going to look a little bit different than the 2+ map. And where's Cameled? So Cameled right here, right? You can see that there is some fighting, I think, that they have going on. We'll see where it's happening. If there's, let's see how far I have to come up here. Yeah. So as you can see here, OPZ, or at least it looked like there was. Yeah. And then going against EE, right? So they're kind of pushing pretty heavy right now with a decent force coming here in Cameled. And then you have the other fight, which is in Ravona. That's Meat versus EE over here. And I have to remember the colors, too, as well. So Meat's there, and I think EE green, maybe? Yeah. So here at the bridge. But there's not really any fighting that's happening now. They were fighting a little bit earlier when I watched. And if there's any other matchups, I'm not sure on those because I didn't see anything that was immediately ongoing in the other Zone 3s. And then, of course, Final Zone, like I said, is going to be opening in 4 chapters. Then we get to S271. Now, S271, where we look at them, this was Goa versus Bat in More Braz. That's what I ended up hearing early. Zone 4 for Final Zone is still 6 chapters away. Zone 3 is actually ending at the end of the current chapter. So that's where you're going to see More Brez, you'll see Cameled, and you'll see Ravona, right? And I don't know if there's timers on these yet. There's not. And I think that's just because we're still waiting for the chapter to end at the moment. But that's when Zone 3 is going to open, and there could be some matchups there. Like I said, I'm still waiting to hear back on the remaining for those. Then we get to S272, only 2 left here at this point. And this one is supposed to be for Zone 3. So Zone 2 opens in 2 chapters. But however, most people know in the Season 2 map, Zone 2 isn't really going to see any fighting. Zone 3 and Zone 4 is where you're going to see fighting because Zone 2 is more of a succession zone or an advancement zone, right? Where you're basically going into it with the people that you started, right, with your Zone 1, and because most of the alliances going into Zone 1s are going to go in there usually with the least amount of resistance for the majority, it's a pretty kind of easy breezy set into your Zone 2. And then Zone 3 is really where you're going to see that, but Zone 3 is still 4 chapters away. Then we get over to, I think, the last one, which is S273. And Zone 3 is 7 chapters away. The matchup that I'm hearing is going to happen here is 262 UDDES versus 261 RK. However, I'm still not sure on which zone they'll be going into. That's a ways. I mean, that's still about 2 weeks to about 16 days, give or take. And then we get to S274, and these are the ones I can't see yet, so I'm not sure. Unfortunately. However, what I will say is that when we can look at S274, there is massive killing that's happening in Zone 1 right now. Basically, 2 ginormous families are fighting it out in Enigad of Zone 1. And that, to me, is the saddest part, is I can't watch any of it. Because, I mean, it was pretty big. It was like a couple billion power for both sides. And it was multiple alliances on both sides. And I don't know if it's still going on or not, but like to me, that's just like one of the disappointing things, is I really wanted to be able to watch that. So yeah, it sucks a little bit. Anyways, that basically wraps up our S2 Plus and Season 2 KVK overviews for what's happening, where, which ones are coming to a conclusion, where's the next ones that are going into the next KVKs, and then essentially what are some of those upcoming fights.